Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things of the spiritual journey, spiritual awakening, to step into our authentic selves and live in our fullest purpose. Today, I'm going to be talking about, I don't even know what. I'm just going to let whatever comes to mind flow the fuck out. Because to be honest, sometimes when you're trying to do something new, you get so caught up on like how to do it, and then you end up not doing it. And I do that all of the time. I get so caught up on like the structure behind it, and to be honest, I'm just not good at it. I'm not good at the structure part. Like I just want to just flow. I like to just flow. And I'm working on it because I do believe that it's important to have structure. It is very nice and relieving to have structure, but for me, I'm working on it. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of pick up on where I left off at. The last time I made a video, I was talking about the Matrix. And honestly, I can go all out about the Matrix, but I think I want to talk about how when you step outside of the Matrix and what that feels like. So, once you start realizing that you were in a matrix and you have been controlled, a lot of things come to the surface. You start to recognize how you have not been having your thoughts of your own. Everything has kind of been planted into you and has made you and has structured your belief systems. So everything that you were thinking, everything that you think life is about and how it's supposed to be is all really coming from someone else and not really from your true self and what you really feel. And so I feel like, when you're stepping outside of that matrix, it could feel a little bit scary because you're realizing how much you do not know about yourself. You're realizing how much you never actually thought about anything because everything has been taught to us. And that's just what it is because they don't even give us room to think about things on our own. I mean, as soon as we start talking, we are being told what to do from our parents and what they've been told to say and teach us. And then they put us in school, and then we are leaving our kids to these strangers that we don't really know, and then in a system that we did not design for our kids specifically. So they're just feeding us all these things of how to be and what to even learn about. Have you ever thought about that? Like, we just go to school and they just say, okay, you have to learn about this. And it's like, there's so much that we can be learning about, but the government kind of is in control of what we're capable of learning. And they do that for a reason. It's because to keep us in the matrix. Because if you decide to learn what you want to learn, you wouldn't learn anything about what the fuck they teach you. We wouldn't. Like, let's really think about it. For example, a lot of people hate math. I love math and I was actually really good at math. But do we ever fucking use it? No. Why did they teach us? Why did they teach us that math? For what? Why did I ever have to learn that? Where did they even get this to teach us this? Like, have you guys ever thought about that? Like, why did they teach us these things that we were never going to use? Doesn't that ruffle your feathers a little bit? Doesn't that make you feel uncomfortable? They do this in so many different ways that we never recognize, and we don't question things. And we don't question things because we're too busy following what we've been told to do, that we never ever think to step outside of the box and say, why did they teach us that fucking stupid ass math that we've never learned to use anywhere else? Teach me how to make money. Teach me how to stack this bread up. Like, let's be for real. How do I stay from getting broke? Teach me that because I need that. Teach me financial literacy, but they don't teach you those things. They teach you boring ass English that we never go and read or talk about ever outside of that damn class. I think science is interesting. And a lot of the history is lies. Or they just simply don't put it in the textbooks for us to learn about our own history. You know why, right? Because then we'll be connected back to our roots. But they don't want you to be connected back to your roots because then you'll find the fuck out that everything was a goddamn lie. Now, this type of conversation, it really is not for everybody. So if you're tuning into this type of stuff, that lets me know that you are interested in higher levels of consciousness, self-awareness. You're curious to know what's up with life, because maybe you're peeping that life is a lie, because it truly, truly is. And the more that you realize it, the more you will see. Sometimes ignorance is truly bliss, because when you start to see the things that has been happening here, man, yikes. So let me check. Okay. I wanted to check if my camera's on. I just kind of started talking, but yeah, it's so difficult to acknowledge the things that has been poured onto us when we're constantly being fed things to distract us with. So it's really hard for most people to ever even reach this like level of curiosity, because like I said, we are constantly being filled with distractions, with the media, with the fear tactics that they use to, direct our minds and focus into something else. Whenever we are getting a little bit closer to finding something to fuck out that's looking a little fishy, they just drop a little ball and distract us. And it works every time, and it's been working for years. It's been working for years. So they know exactly what to do to distract us. They know exactly what it is that we need to hear, and they do all of the tactics to keep us in line. Because like I said, if we're not in line, then they cannot distract us, and then they can't get what we want. I mean, what they want, which is power, greed, control, all the things that, honestly comes from a fear-based mind. So when you start escaping the matrix and uncovering all these things that's been lied and told to you, you start thinking for yourself for the probably the very first time in your life. You may think that you do things on your own right now, but you most likely don't. Everything that you probably do in your life, no shade, is probably being because it was influenced onto you. Even the things that you focus on, like your goals, they might not even be your real goals. They might not be the things that you actually want to be doing. You just think that you're supposed to be doing those things because they've been taught to you. We're taught on the things that we should value and the things that we should look forward to in life. We're not ever given any space or room to think about the things that we actually desire, because that will literally shift us to the main goal, to focusing on something that don't got to do with them, the people, the higher ups, the elites, the people in control. See, if you look at history, you'll see how power has always been a thing that has caused all the wars and all the stuff, all the bad stuff basically that happens in life, because at some point somebody gets really greedy, somebody gets really fueled with wanting to have all the power to themselves, and they start to do the things that will take away the powers of other people so they can have all the power to themselves. And that's the system that we have now, which is called the matrix. And so when you start to awaken, you start to leave that system and awaken to your own power. And that's the part we're going to always talk about here. Baby, I just got hyped up because, baby, I got my power back. Like, I'm never going to stop talking about this, because I want everybody to have their own power. I want everyone to feel connected to their power within, because I'm telling you right now, there's nothing that anybody can fucking tell me about my fucking gifts and abilities, baby, and my purpose, because I know it, because I'm in tune with my power. Do you know what that feels like? To know that you have power within yourself, that you don't have to latch on to any motherfucking thing to know that you are worthy? It's a beautiful feeling, and I'm still working on it. But it's such a beautiful feeling to know that I have my own thoughts, and I believe in my own compass, and I have my own intuition to trust. I don't have to trust on nobody else. I actually can tell if some motherfucker is lying, because I trust myself. I don't have to wait and look around for someone else to give me the answers. I know it. I know it. I know things, and that's because I trust myself to know things. And that's all this is about. Learning how to disconnect from the things that are holding your power away from you, so that you can embrace your power within. This is what this whole page is about: letting go and disconnecting from the things that make you feel like you have to trust something outside of yourself to know if that's the path you need to walk into or not. We're not doing that anymore. We're waking up and we're seeing the things that don't resonate with us anymore. And we're saying, no, I don't want to align myself with that anymore because it doesn't feel true to me. Okay? That's what we're going to be doing nowadays. That's the whole point. So when you're seeing things that's happening around you, question it. That's how you get into the realization of like, hmm, maybe that is fucking sus. Maybe that is funny. Ask questions. I'm telling you, you want to be more assured about yourself. Ask questions because if you don't question anything, you will never know anything. Point blank, period. So the more that you question the things, like ask yourself, like, wait, why do I go to work every single day? Why do I work a 9 to 5? Do I even like this schedule? Why do I have this job? Do I even really like this job? Why am I with this person? Do they even like me? Do they even know who I really am? Or do we keep it very surface level? Ask these questions because that is the only way you will know what is true for you and what is meant for you, and if you like it for real or not, because we keep things at such a surface level. We don't ever go into it really deeply to see if that's something that we like. You don't even know if you like certain things because you never question it. You know what I'm saying? There's been many things that I used to do that I never even thought about it. I would just do it just because, unconsciously, because other people are doing it. Simple as that. Like, I don't like that no more. As I started stepping into, you know, trusting myself and learning more about myself and what I like to do, I discovered so many things. I don't like to party. I don't like being around people. I was only doing that because that was the norm, because I was escaping. I hate fucking getting drunk because I feel disconnected from myself. There's nothing fun about that for me anymore. But before, when I thought it was normal and cool to be lit, yes, I loved it. But now I think it's fucking corny. And I think it's very disempowering to be disconnected from yourself. I mean, you're literally not yourself when you're drunk, and they don't say that for no reason. And I don't want to be nobody but myself. So that's that. But yeah, I think that the message I want to leave with this video is to really start to question the things in your life. The only way you'll really know if you're happy and if you're not happy is to question things. Ask yourself what makes you happy. You might not even know what makes you happy. That's okay, that's fine. Now it's the time to go explore that. What are the things that make you happy? And then go do that. But right now, if you're living a life that's not fulfilling for you have the opportunity to change that. You can ask yourself why you're not happy, and then when you figure out why you're not happy, you should go do something about it and change it. Because our life is what we want it to be. It's in our hands. I'm telling you, you can change it to be whatever the hell it is that you want it to be. I don't like using that word because that was also put onto us. Like, why we use that word? Why? The English language has a lot of subliminals. Like, why would we use the word hell in our language? I never want anybody to feel hell in anything that I'm talking about. So I'm gonna say you can find your heaven here on earth. This is what I believe. I truly believe that you could have heaven on earth. And so it all takes a little bit of curiosity to figure out what heaven might actually look like for you. And then you go find that and give it to yourself. Because, yes, it is that easy. It really is. No one's in control of us unless we let them be.